What is going on, peeps? Okay, so look, a lot of you guys keep bringing this chart to my attention, and I'm having a feeling now that most people don't understand what they're looking at. As a matter of fact, I've seen comments in there where people making the videos that they're claiming that this is showing that there's a $1 to $1 matchup between the Iraqi dinar to the U.S. dollar. Okay, so let me see if I can explain this, because it's kind of semi-detailed, but the truth of the matter is, we can simplify this. Look, the general price index of the stock market exchange. Okay, so what is the stock market price index? So I'm going to kind of go over this real quick with you guys so we can get a better understanding, so you know what you're looking at. Okay, so a quick reminder, everybody, that I have Pimpy's Investment Chat. It's the same name as the YouTube channel. This is a group within Facebook. I will leave a link to this group in the description if you care to join. In here, they talk about all kinds of things from Iraqi dinar, the Vietnam dong, the Zim dollar, gold, silver, cryptocurrencies. There's lots of news articles in here. There's lots of information. As a matter of fact, there's lots of stuff that people talk about in their Patreon groups that people bring here, and you can read it for free. Okay, I just throwing that out there because in here it's free 99. Okay, so I encourage you guys to come join us. Just follow the link in the description. Okay. Another thing we need to look at again today, it looks like another auction has happened. It happened last night. So here we go. No cash was auctioned off. But as you can see, $146,729,800 was auctioned off. So the auctions are still continuing in Iraq. Okay, so let's just, again, they're going, but it doesn't have any effect on what's going on. Okay, so let's take a look at something. You have up here the S&P, the Dow Jones, and the NASDAQ, all right? The Russells and the whole 9 yards. Each one of these is a different way in which the price index is measured on a stock market, okay? And I'll go over to them with you real quick. So just so you know, the first one here, let's talk about the Dow Jones and how they come up with their rate. The Dow Jones, what the Dow Jones does is take the top 30 or so companies. That's it. Only the top 30 companies. And what they do is they take the number of shares and then versus it, the price per share, and they come out with a weighted average. And based on this average is how they'll come up. So you can see the volume over here. Based on the share average is what they do is they come up with and they use an indice converter, like a ratio. There's a formula they use, and they come up with this right here. Is how they determine where the stock market is for the Dow Jones. That's what a stock market price index is. That's just one form of it, all right? So what they're doing is taking the information that they get from the 30 top companies, because there's the top 30 components that make up the Dow Jones, and they come up with a formula that they use, and the price index goes up or down based on this. Okay, so you can see that over here. This is the Dow Jones. Now, the S&P 500 is a little bit different. As a matter of fact, a lot of people think this is probably more accurate. Okay, so the S&P 500 takes the top 500 companies. Okay, so not only do they take the amount of shares and the amount of shares being exchanged, but they also take the weighted volume approach, which means is that out of these 30, they figure out how much value, market cap is out there and how much each one of these, what percentage each one of these makes up of the market cap. They do an average over it. And again, they use another formula, and then they determine what the price index is for the S&P 500. That's what that is, okay? So for me, the things I like to look at is look at the daily average, where it is. This is for the day where it's bouncing back and forth. Okay, this is where it actually is. And then a 52-week high or low. That's another thing that I keep an eye on, because I like to try to figure out where we are on this chart. So over the last 52 weeks, we are still past the halfway point slightly. Okay, this is where our high was in the past 52 weeks. This is where the low is. Okay, so these are the types of things I look for in cryptocurrencies to see how they perform. If you come over here to the cryptocurrencies, this over here is your 52-week performance. Now, if it's bouncing over towards the low side, I mean, I know there's room for growth. Okay, so what I try to look for is that Tether is a stable dollar, so it moves very slightly between the 50 halfway mark. All right, so look, you got things like Chainlink. Look at Chainlink, it's 52 average. Look where it is right now. It's on the high side. It's past the halfway mark. All right. This is why I like XRP. It's on the low side with plenty of room to grow back up to its high side. Okay, so that's the kind of stuff I look for. But let's get back into what this is. So here you are. You have the price index, the stock market price index in Iraq. Okay, so really, I don't know why it's not reflecting until February, but it's showing in here for February. It was at one price, the index was, and then it moved up to another price altogether. Okay, let me get it. So you can see here, so stock market value overall index was 480.64 dinars. It has now jumped up here to 462,830. Now, what could have caused this jump? It could be because a lot of people are really dumping a lot of money into the ISX. And although it has been closed for the month of March, for the most part, since the 16th, there's a lot of us have been dumping money into the ISX. This might explain why there's a jump. I don't know why it's not showing prior to that, because some of us have been in this for over a year now, and it's just now reflecting for February. So what this is it's showing the value of the ISX is increasing. All right, yeah, I get it. That's a huge jump. It is an absolutely huge jump in the indices, but how it reflects on the dollar is very little. Okay, very little at all. Now, as we know, as economies get stronger and you see the stock markets climb, well, then it makes their local currency stronger because there's a demand for it, okay? If the purchasing power increases, what I want to say. So, I don't know how people are coming up that this shows that it's equal 1-to-1, the Iraqi dinar to the U.S. dollar. All this is just the price indices or the price index. It's just showing you that their weight. I'll show you over here. So here you go. This is the ISX, and here's the companies on the ISX. This is known as the primary market. So what they're doing is they're just taking a weighted average of all these companies, and this is how they're coming up with their price indices. Okay, this is how they're coming up with their general price index of the Iraqi stock exchange. So it's based on the performance of their stocks. For some reason, it's only reflecting from February of 2020 up to, I'm not even sure what date this is, the end of February. Why is it only showing February? I have no idea. But that's all this is, you guys. That's all this is. They're just showing you the performance based on a total number of shares, volumes, opening and closing values, and how many shares are available to the public, and how it moves up and down, gives them their stock exchange price index. So that's all this is, okay? Now, I know a lot of you guys are going, oh, you're not making a big deal of it. No, it's not that I don't want to make a big deal out of it. It's nice. It looks good. I mean, as a person who holds a lot of shares of Iraqi stock, I mean, of course, I want to see that go up, okay? And does it affect the dinar value? It does slightly, in the sense that, if there's more of a demand for Iraqi goods, well, then that only strengthens the money that Iraq has. But that's all this is, you guys. That's where people keep coming up, and I know there's another individual that's keeps, for some reason, not taking the time to actually analyze some of these things. And he told you there was a 1-for-1 based on this here, a 1-for-1 exchange. That is not accurate, okay? This is something totally different. Now, if there was something else you guys are pointing at, maybe somebody pointed this out wrong. Maybe this isn't what they were trying to show me here. Maybe it was something else. But right now, this is the one that I see everywhere, the general price index of the Iraqi stock exchange. And all that is based on the performance of all the companies they have listed on the stock market. That's all that is. Okay, guys? If you see it going up, that just means that the stock market, there's people who are investing into the stock market in Iraq. And it's a weighted average based on performances of each of the stock. There's a lot of things that are taken in determination. Each company does their own version of how they measure the performance of the stock market indices, okay? And how the stock market performs. So I hope this answers your questions, you guys. I know a lot of you guys keep bringing this up. But there's a reason why I wasn't making too much of a fuss about it. I wanted to make sure that I had a better understanding of this and how it does reflect on the Iraqi dinar. But the truth is, it has very little at all There's nowhere in here that you could show me, and I don't know how they came up, but this is a reflection of a 1-to-1 exchange value, okay? A 1-to-1. When I first was reading this, I was reading this wrong myself, and I was about to do a video, and I would have just embarrassed myself, because based on the numbers, if you look at it where it is, if you go on the assumption that is being made out there, then I was looking at where I was right, which meant that the rate would have came out somewhere around $1.13 to $1.34, which is where I was talking about. But I was like, no, I know what these indexes are, and I wanted to make sure, so I double checked. Okay, so that's all this is, you guys. The general price index of the Iraq Stock Exchange. All you're looking at is the average weighted performances of all the stocks listed on the ISX for Iraq. That's all that is. And of course, for me as a stockholder, I love it, because the more it increases in value, the more valuable my stocks are, right? So I hope this answers your question. Let me know what you think. Hit the like button, subscribe if you're not a subscriber, and leave a comment. All right, you guys, I'll talk to you later. Bye.